first thing you want to do for your curry, like the first thing that you want to do for almost every dish that we make on this show, is cut up an onion. I have 1 medium onion. 3/4 of the dishes that I make start with cutting up an onion. Would you say that? You've seen it a lot, right? And yet, you're still crying out for more. Please, dice another onion. Half of this onion is gonna go into the rice, and half of it's gonna go into the curry. The rice is gonna be cooked in a small pot. You wanna heat up a teaspoon of oil, just a tiny bit, to saute your onion. Oop, that was not a teaspoon. I am pouring some of that out. Even too much for me. Okay. To that, you can add your onion. 2 teaspoons of brown mustard seeds. If you can't find brown or black, use yellow. That would be totally fine. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Then just cook it for a couple minutes. Let it get translucent, the usual. Have it on a medium-high heat. Then you can add your rice. You want to toss that around too. I have a cup of long grain white rice. Stir it around a little bit. You want to get a little toastiness on those grains of rice. And then stir in 1.5 cups of water. Don't believe the package. 2 cups is too many. They're lying to you. Bring that to a boil, turn it down to medium, and cook it for 15 minutes. Meanwhile, you can get your curry going. To saute the other half of the onion, use 2 teaspoons of oil, and you want to sweat it. It just needs to get translucent. Now I have a sweet potato. Peel it. If you wanted to leave the skin on, you totally could. Just scrub it really well. I personally like the skin, but not everyone does. If you find that your sweet potatoes are kind of small, use 2. Cut it up 1-inch pieces. The great thing about sweet potatoes is how, well, there's lots of great things. 1, beautiful color. 2, super healthy for you. 3, really quick cooking. It's got everything going for it. And then head of cauliflower, cut it into florets. If your head is kind of big, you probably don't want to use the entire thing. Save the rest for snacks. Not cooked. I like it raw. It's good. It's delicious. Even my son Hayden likes it. I'm ready to continue my flavor building. So now you're gonna add a tablespoon of vegan red Thai curry paste. Check the label because some have fish sauce in it. Cook that off a little bit, just until you start smelling it, which shouldn't take very long, I can assure you. Then add a cup of water, and then a cup of coconut milk. I like to make sure to shake it a little bit before I use it because sometimes it separates in the can, especially if it's been sitting around for a while. Then you just need to let this come to a boil and the veg go in, it simmers there. You know the rest. I'm just gonna wait. That didn't take long. Okay, the sweet potatoes and the cauliflower go in and then they simmer for 15 minutes. Be careful when you're dropping this in because, well, you know, you don't wanna burn yourself. Flying burning liquid, not so good. I am gonna save some of that cauliflower because I don't think I need all of it. Stir it around. Make sure everything that can be submerged is submerged and then cover it up and simmer it for 15 minutes. Everything just needs to be nice and tender. You didn't think you'd get away with no cilantro, did you? A little bit of cilantro never killed anyone. Millions and millions and millions of people in multiple cuisines cannot be wrong. The final ingredient, a can of chickpeas, 15.5 ounces. You could cook your own if you wanted to. Stir these babies in. They only need to heat through as they are completely cooked, as you are well aware. But that's it, it's finished. What do you think about that? Give yourself some rice. You want to make sure you fluff it before you serve it. A little bit of that Indian flavor rice. Just a couple ingredients make such a huge difference. Spoons some of the curry on top. And you have vegan dinner fit for a king or a queen. Or some little princes and princesses. Right? Give it a try.